Picking a baby name may feel like the biggest decision you'll ever made. No pressure, right? And if you're having a boy, I'm pretty sure that you're struggling because I struggled so much finding baby boy names. I think that the list for baby girl names is so vast, it's huge, it's humongous, and it's so great. I had so many baby names for the potential girl that I could have that I didn't have, and I'm totally okay with that because I love my sons so much. I'm a boy mom and I love that. I didn't think that I was going to, but I actually really do. But for my boys, I wanted names that sounded manly, but also elegant, but short, but trendy, and also definitely that sounded well in English and Spanish because my family on my side, they're Venezuelan, they speak Spanish, and my family on my husband's end, they speak English and Spanish. And my husband is pretty much, he was born in Venezuela actually, but he's like an American boy. So I needed these names to sound good for both of us. And lastly, I'm sure you're going through this too, I needed approval from family members because I don't know why I do that. I shouldn't, you shouldn't, but that is the hardest part. Pleasing all family members with their name expectations on your child is one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life. Many of these names that I'm going to mention you, they didn't like. Some of them they did like, but I'm just going to stop talking right now and tell you about the names that I love, that I think matched what I told you I was looking for. And if you're into those characteristics for names, this is your list. Let's start with the boy names that I gave to my children. My firstborn's name is Troy, and it's Troy Nicholas. So Nicholas because it's a name I've always loved for some reason, and it happens to be my husband's name. I love Nicholas, Nicolas in Spanish, Nicholas in English. It's beautiful, elegant, timeless, amazing. Troy is so strong and classic and heroic. I love this name so much, and I definitely love that it's not super common. I thought it was like a fun but also historic name. It comes from Troy, the city. I think it's just amazing. My second boy's name is Liam. I also think it's a strong but soft name at the same time, depending on your perspective, I think. But I don't know, it flows well, but it's also the name of a boy. Unfortunately, it's one of the most popular names in the US right now, but not in Spain. So once I moved out of the States, I was like, okay, now I can think of Liam again as a name for my boys. And I also wanted to have a girl named Mila, and Liam happens to have the same letters as Mila, so I thought this was a win-win for me. And again, Spanish Liam, English Liam. My second son's middle name is Roman. In Spanish, Roman, in English, Roman. I love this name. Again, comes from history and culture, and it's beautiful, elegant, manly, and just perfect. Liam Roman. I love it. Okay, we're going to go a little bit further with the Nicholas trend because I love that name. Nixon. I think it's a super cute name and it means the son of Nick. And it was perfect. I thought this was a great name for my kid since my husband's name is Nicholas. But he didn't like it and I respected that, but I love it. It's presidential. Forget about politics here, please. Just like the name, it sounds presidential, right? Nixon. It's edgy, it's unique, and it's cool. Nikolai with a K. Nikolai sounds good in English and Spanish, but this one has like the Russian spark, so I love it. Nikolai, perfect. Kai is a short, cool Hawaiian name that means ocean. My second baby was born in the summer, so I was like, this is a perfect name. Kai, Spanish, Kai, perfect, love it, smooth, cool, but no one liked it in my family. That was the problem with it. Kyrie, another unique, cool name with soft yet strong sound. I think actually it's not so strong, it's not so manly. That was the problem that my family was bringing up, and I get it. Kyrie, I think in Spanish sounds Kairi. It sounds a little bit more girly. My mom said that it almost sounded like the nickname for Karina, Kairi, like, and I had a problem with that. Once she said that, then she ruined it for me. But I really like this name if you don't have that Spanish problem I have. Elian, I love this name. Elian in Spanish, Elian or Elian in English, and then you can use the short Eli, which I am obsessed with. It's elegant, international, and the roots are Hebrew and Spanish. It's a melodic name, and I think it's really cute. Gonzalo. This one doesn't sound great in English. Gonzalo in English and Gonzalo in Spanish. I mean, it's kind of there. Gonzalo is such a classic Spanish name that inspires nobility and strength. I think it's pretty common in Spain, but not extremely common, but it's such a great name. Eric. For some reason, I've always liked this name ever since I watched The Little Mermaid, because the prince's name is Eric, and I was like, oh wow, like if I have a boyfriend one day or a husband one day, like what if like it looks like Prince Eric? That would be amazing. So I've always liked that name. Easy to pronounce. It is Scandinavian and it means eternal ruler. Love Eric. Gael, and in Spanish, Gael. I love this name. I think it's super stylish, it's modern, and it's pretty elegant. I think a bit vintage too. It's simple, but it carries a sense of strength and like intelligence and unique. Gael, I don't know. I think it's cool. Eren, yes, from Attack on Titan. I love the character, and I think Aaron or Aaron is maybe a better name in spelling, but once I saw Aaron with an E, I thought it was more interesting and I really like it. I think Aaron, it's like kind of awkward to pronounce sometimes, so Aaron, it's a bit more straight to the point, so it sounds strong. It sounds like, you know, I don't know, Attack on Titan. It's amazing. A great name. Archie. I wanted this name for Troy. I wanted Liam and I wanted Archie for Troy. I love this name. I think it's really cute for a boy. Archie Guerrero. Sounds great. But I think that for an adult, it starts to sound a bit annoying. Like, Mr. Archie. What? I don't know. It depends on you and your personality, but I think it could be a good name. I just started to think like Dad Archie. Uncle Archie, maybe. Brother Archie. It's cute, but like Mr. Archie is definitely bad, so Axel. I don't have a lot of things to say on Axel, but I like this spelling. Axel. I think it's really cool, but then it's missing something, right? I guess it's because I associate it with Alexander, and I think Alexander is a great name, but it was already in our family, so it was like, I don't know. But I think Axel is really cool, but it's missing something. London. I love London as a name. I think it's sophisticated, it's beautiful. London in Spanish, London in English. I think these days it's kind of gender neutral, but I think it shouldn't. I think it's a boy name. It sounds manly. London, come here. Great. I love London. Dante. It's a cool name. I like it. It's timeless, historical, strong. I think Dante is divine comedy. I mean, it's a great name. Tobias in Spanish, Tobias. I like Tobias, how it sounds in English, but Tobias in Spanish sounds a bit boring. It is definitely a biblical name, so it's cool, it's strong, it's kind of dynamic. Tobias. Yeah, I think it could be a great name for a kid. Derek in Spanish, Derek in English, almost the same. It's just the R thing, I think. It's short, it's strong, it's old-fashioned, it's a classic, and I like that it has a K. I like how it looks. Derek looks cool. Lionel in Spanish, Lionel in English. I love this name, and I think it's, I don't know, I picture it in a nursery, the letters there, the spelling Lionel, and I think it's so cute. As a nickname, you can use Lion or Lion. Yeah, I guess I don't love that. You see, there are problems with some names. When you really look into them, you're like, but why didn't I choose this one? And I know, Leon, but Leon sounds cool in Spanish. Leon, ven acá. I like it. I actually like it. Lionel is a great name. Yeah, it's decided. Ander in Spanish, Ander in English. I love this name. I just found out about this name because one of my babies or my toddler's friends' name is Andrew, and I think it's a great name. It's fresh, it's short, like I guess it comes from Andrew, but Andrew is kind of too like used and I don't know, boring, but Ander, it's so cool. Love Ander. Walter. I think this is a vintage name ready for a comeback. I know for some people it can be a bit like, ugh, no, but I like it. Walter sounds really cool. In Spanish, Walter. which doesn't sound cool now that I think about it, and I think that my family would pronounce it in a way I don't like. Walter, but in English, Walter sounds great. So if you don't have Spanish speakers in your family, Walter is a great option. Logan with Scottish roots. Love this name, reminds me of the X-Men, so I think it has that, like, I don't know, strength and like heroic sense of personality that I really, really like. I think Logan is a cool kid with a lot of energy, so I like Logan, and in Spanish, Logan sounds great. Elliot, I think it sounds so intellectual. Elliot, come here please. It sounds great. I always like to do the come here please. I think it makes it like it's now a real thing. So Elliot sounds so pretty. I think it could also be a name of a girl, but I like it for a guy for some reason, Elliot. And you can call him Eli, which I told you I love that. So great in English. In Spanish would be Elliot, which I still like. Nolan, it's an Irish name. I like it. I don't like names that start with N-O because I feel like it's like a negative thing for some reason. But I really like Nolan more than Noah. I think Noah, it's been overused at this point, but Nolan sounds really cool. It means champion, and it sounds great in Spanish too. Nolan, I think it sounds good. I like it. My last name is another name that I wanted to use for my second baby. I was actually really set on it until my family began to ruin it for me. The name is Levi. I love Levi so much. It's simple, it's super cool, it's stylish, it's unique. In Spanish would be Levi, and I'm just gonna tell you, yes, it has to do with the pants. Levi's, my mom was like, I am gonna look at the kid and think of the pants. And I'm like, that's not true, because when you begin to associate the experiences with my kid with them directly and not with the pants, you're going to forget about the pants. This is such like a problem that I think people have, that once they know, like, I don't know, John that gave them a bad experience, they're like, okay, yeah, John is ruined forever. But that's not fair. Levi pants are amazing, so why would you have a problem with them? Okay to hate an ex-boyfriend and not want to give that name to your child, but come on, Levi, it's a great name, and just because of the pants, that's not fair. So that's my list on names for your future boy. I hope one of these serve you. If you have more names, tell me. If you have middle names for one of these names, tell me too, because I think that's the next hurdle we suffer. What middle name should we choose? And I think I did a great job at choosing middle names for my children. So I am definitely happy to help if you want middle name options for your kid. And I think that's it. So I'll see you in another video.